SiriusXM is where moments happen, and you'll find them here 24/7. In music, talk, sports, comedy, and news. Live and on demand. And they're on in your car, online, or on the app so you won't miss a thing. Visit SiriusXM.ca/never-miss-a-beat. Hey guys, what's going on? It's your boy Ben Wu, host of CMA Connected. Welcome to another lunch hour learning session midweek here. Man, I'll tell you, I don't know where you guys are living or where you're watching from, whether you're joining us live or watching us pre-recorded. It is being a dumping of snow up here. So my American friends, if you're watching, if you've never seen snow before, you're not missing anything. It is ridiculous. It snowed 30 centimeters last night, and then it rained all night. So you can imagine the type of morning I've had. Needless to say, I've got that out of the way and in time to talk some goodies this afternoon, because back with us for this session of CMA Connected, we have our good friends over at BB Distribution, and my personal favorite person next to another favorite person, which I won't mention names because he might get upset. But my favorite person at BB Distribution, Mr. Justin Bond. What's going on?
What's going on, Ben? How you doing, man?
You know, it's hard for me to choose favorites and name, but you are my favorite. You know that.
Oh, that's all right. I appreciate it.
No, I say that only because we get to spend so much time talking about cool products and everything that you guys bring to the table. You know,
this is an excitement-based industry, man.
Absolutely.
You know, if you can't be excited, talking or selling the products that you sell, then you're definitely in the wrong business.
I loved the last session we did, with the Focal product and contrasting that this time is another brand that you guys have really latched onto and are pushing and making some waves, like I mentioned in our little blurb there. Certainly a brand that, for me, it's not a heritage brand, right? It's not one of those brands that have been around for 30 years. However, notwithstanding, it is certainly a brand that's coming to the market. You guys have done, obviously, an exceptional job pushing it forward because we see it. We see it in the shops. We see it in the cars that these shops are building. So I wanted to know on today's session everything there is to know about Powerbass. Why is it enjoying the momentum that it is, and what's making it tick? Because obviously people are talking about it.
Yeah, no, it's Powerbass is just kind of one of those lines that kind of form like that perfect partnership. Everything from the guys down there themselves to more about what we'll learn about kind of throughout this cast, make it just always such a pleasure and easy. It's easy to generate momentum with it. It's easy because it delivers really on all aspects that you want to talk about, and it really just is an unbelievable brand that we've had tons of success with just because of how easy and how the faith you can put in the brand, everything down from the manufacturer to the distributor to the dealer to the customer, that faith flows 100% A to Z with this brand. So I really look forward to today to kind of informing and enlightening people about what Powerbass is. Ben, we're probably not going to talk a whole bunch about the products Powerbass. We'll talk a bit about why we're not going to talk about all the products on this.
Well, there's a lot of products. Let's just get it out of the way. We don't have 5 hours to go through the whole line.
Pretty much. We'll say that for another day, but we definitely can get to it. But yeah, no, it's Powerbass for us has been amazing. We've been dealing with Powerbass since about 2014. So it's just been a great partnership. And I really do want to emphasize the word partnership. Relationships at BB Distribution are really important. Everything with our dealers, especially to our vendors. And when you are lucky enough to deal with a group of these guys, like the Powerbass guys, it really just makes things awesome and exciting and fun.
Well, I think that sets up great to bring on our special guest. Obviously, BB Distribution, you guys are the exclusive distributor in Canada for the Powerbass brand. But we brought on somebody who lives, breathes, eats, and bleeds Powerbass. His name is Erick Harbour, and he's coming in to us live from their offices in Cali. What's going on, Erick?
What's happening, guys? How are you?
And I can't tell you how fortunate and grateful we are that you have taken your morning, because it is morning over there, to join us on our lunch hour learning session here. And as you heard from Justin's remarks, obviously BB very proud to have the Powerbass brand. I'm going to turn to you to give us a little bit, give me 2 minutes of the history of Powerbass and what is the pedigree of this brand in the car audio industry.
Yeah, for sure. I appreciate it. I just thought I'd let you know, while you had all this snow, I came into 20 centimeters of sunshine this morning. So just in case you haven't seen.
I have a button that turns you off, right? Like I could literally just like that. He can go away, Justin, if you want. Just let me know.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll add him back. Okay, that's fine. We'll leave him on.
I mean, a 2-minute run on kind of who we are and what we do. The one thing I think that really resonates the best is the stuff that people don't know. People are focused a lot on this product or that product, but the reality is we're a vertically integrated company. So we are our own factory. I say this a lot of times, and maybe it's cliche, we're a lot like Apple. So we do all of our development and our engineering here in the USA. We then take that mold and that design to our factory, which is literally our factory. And we then go to production and make some product that I think changes things. I think that we look at solution-based products rather than just an amp and sub, which everyone has. And I think that makes us quite a bit different. We build for a lot of other things and a lot of other industries as well as other brands in our factory. So we're kind of on the forefront of what's happening. It's just most people don't realize that. And I think that makes us special. But it also changes the way that we're priced coming into market, because it's literally a factory direct type relationship with the industry. So we're able to price things competitively. We're able to have a good product, and we're able to control that all the way up the chain.
Yeah, and I think that Justin was alluding to a couple unique selling points when talking to dealers about the brand Powerbass, and I think you just highlighted on a major one, and that is that direct to market or bypassing the middleman type of situation where you just said it yourself, designed in USA but manufactured at your own manufacturing plant in Asia. I heard a lot of Powerbass coming up, a couple years back. OE, that seems to be a tagline that comes, often when it comes to Powerbass. Can you speak to that a little bit about your business end when it comes to OE manufacturing?
Yeah, so we looked at how do we change our thought process. I think as car audio guys, I was a shop owner at one time. I went to Mobile Dynamics. I've done car audio my entire life. And the one thing that I think that we forgot maybe 10 years ago was that at some point you need to focus and diversify a little bit. So as a brand, that's what we've started to do. We've gotten more into the OE fit category, if you will. From the manufacturing side, we already do OE projects for major vehicle manufacturers like Nissan and some of the others. So we're already in that space, but now we're expanding that into the aftermarket world. So we've created Toyota, Ford. We're working on finishing up GM. We're working on Jeep, Nissan Bose replacement, old school Bose replacement, which I actually have one of those here, which no one really does this. I mean, that's the cool thing of being a factory, is that we can do things that most people have to go through 3 or 4 different steps to get to that process. We can tool very quickly, and we can do a lot of test fits very fast. So making an OE plug and play solution was just a kind of a no-brainer in a sense, because we have the ability to do it. It's just a matter of putting the thoughts to paper and actually coming out with a product that's an easy install and quick turnaround time.
So throwing that to Justin from a Canadian perspective, is that something the dealers have kind of been asking for, and is the market asking for that OE fit type product?
So we talked about excitement in the industry, and we talked about our 12-volt industry being a solution-based industry. And Eric kind of hit it right on the head. Is like, if failure to adapt is death in this industry, and everyone in this industry is looking for quicker in, quicker out of the bay, but still producing the results that you would get with doing billing an hour and a half, 2 hours for a speaker install. The OE fit and the OE integration side of things is something that's definitely up and coming huge. I mean, if not here already. And the nice thing, it all kind of ties down to the relationship, and still the same thing with that manufacturer direct relationship with Powerbass, is that the quality and the build that you get on the OE speakers with the nylon factory brackets, the connectors, high density foam surround, they got a poly carbon fiber cone, etc. at the dollar value that you're using and selling to these, like there's nothing that really touches it in performance, in ease of ability. And the other thing that's also really important with it, especially with the OE side of things, being that they are located in California, like he said, R&D done there in-house, is that these are vehicles that are relevant to the North American market, and that Powerbass has the ability to target the vehicles that everyone's asking for: Ford, Chevy, Dodge, Honda, whatever it may be, and it comes literally from just south of the border for us, and it just makes life easy. Plain and simple.
I was looking at that OE lineup, and the one that really stood out for me were the 6x9 woofers, highs,
dual tube and dual 8 ohm. Yeah.
Absolutely. So I had a comment here from Conrad over at Sudbury Car Audio. We love the entry-level speakers because there's nothing else in the 80 to 140 range that sounds better than the Powerbass with soft dome tweeters.
Yeah.
And I think we're getting towards that part of the conversation where we're starting to understand Powerbass's lane, if you will, right? So you have this OE, you've got this rich history with OE, you have this engineering that's in-house, you can turn on a dime and pivot if required, understanding the market here in North America and the manufacturer. I wanted to maybe pivot now to some of the other categories, because let's everybody's listening. I mean, Powerbass is a full line, right? So we've talked about OE. What's another category that Powerbass offers?
I think one of our biggest pushes is really power sports. I mean, to be honest, that's become the kind of the staple now. If you're not looking at power sports, you're really kind of missing the bar. And so we've really dug into it pretty deep. For us, we wanted to do something that could work with everyone, could work in every market, not just a fun on the dunes kind of thing that we have here in California, but also from a utilitarian type standpoint for city vehicles, anything that needed some level of audio. What could we produce for that in an off-road category that was weatherproof, which obviously you need that with snow too. So it works great in kind of all environments. So we dug into power sports, and the first thing we really dug into was soundbars, and it just took off from there. What you see there is our new soundbar. These are our 50 series, if you will, and they're close to market. One thing that we really kind of pride ourselves on is doing product testing the right way. We do a lot of pre-development. We worked on these for almost 2 years in the process of getting them to where they are now. And now we're doing our final 30-day QC, if you will. We don't just bring a product in and go, hey, yeah, this works. Okay, let's go ship it. That doesn't really work with us. We want to put it out in the world. We want to run it through its paces for at least 30 days and see what happens. Because if you put something out there and it fails, you're never going to come back from that. So our goal is to try to make sure that what we give you is going to work right every time. And the other cool thing is, I'll show you, no one's really seen this outside of the building much. This is our new XL 650. So the 650 is a 6-speaker system, but what we decided to do is, instead of telling you how it needed to be mounted, we gave you options. So you have a simple bolt, so you can bolt through for like golf cart applications or municipal applications. We have a square clamp for a square bar. This just bolts right into the body. You have your L bracket, so you can decide how you want to mount here. You can put the square on the L, or you can use the hoop. We also have the clamps at the bottom, which are kind of hard to see. That's our big aluminum C-clamps. So mounting is super easy. It's, what I tell people is you can have this wired up on a UTV before your beer gets warm, and you can get out and enjoy your music pretty quickly. It's a power and a ground and a turn on, and you're ready to go.
As long as that last feature is clearly identified on the box, I approve it.
Agreed, 100%.
I just want to interrupt for a second. When Eric's talking about their quality control, I just want to stress this to people. There's a lot of speaker manufacturers. I don't know if most of us have all been to CES, and we've walked through the show halls, and it's like, I'll take that cone and I'll take that basket, and we'll use this spider and this coil, and this is my speaker. This is speaker. So Powerbass doesn't do that, which is so awesome. We literally talked to Eric yesterday, and I'm not even joking. He was quality controlling mounting screws.
Yep. We look at it all. I mean, and if you don't look at it all, you're going to miss something. And then some installer is going to go, man, I hate this. And, then you hear about it everywhere you go. And it could be as simple as a screw. And you're right. I was literally QCing screws. And to come to find out, we've got to order some more and try a different one because it just didn't work right. So it gets down to that, little bit of detail that most people forget. I think the coolest thing is that we don't have some middleman telling us, well, this is the coolest thing the factory is going to produce this year. We tell them the coolest thing they're going to produce this year. But then, what's funny is that the brand's been around for a while, but it's taken a little while to find its place, or its lane, if you will. And I think that we found that a couple years ago, and we're basically full speed ahead, just passing by. And I think when you start to see other longer term brands, if you will, on different tiers, let's be honest, more of a hi-fi brand, things like this, start to copy you and do what you're doing. That says a lot for who you are, what you've created. And we're seeing that a lot in the OE. We're also starting to see that in the way the soundbar is kind of positioned now with our new style. It's kind of cool, and I enjoy the friendly competition, if you will, amongst friends. But I'm glad to know that we're the ones kind of leading some of those charges.
Now, is there a model called the XL1200?
There is. That is our #1 selling soundbar.
Okay, I need to put this comment because apparently it's a beast mode type of unit.
Yes, sir, Joe. That is the beast. It is the biggest of all soundbars. It's a 12-speaker system. Most people are doing a 6 and a 10 speaker. We're one of the only ones doing a 12. And it actually was the first one to have active subwoofers, not a passive subwoofer system. Okay. But now the 1250 is coming. And if you think the 1200 is a beast, the 1250 is a whole nother animal. And I can't wait for those to get out there and everybody to just go, wow, this is exactly what I wanted, everything to sound like in a soundbar.
Wow, awesome. I have another question coming up here. Is there any power draw when the bar is off like other versions?
No, on the new one, we've kind of rectified that situation. Ultimately, we wanted you to be able to link soundbars together. We wanted to be able to pass through enough voltage to do that. If you'd ever seen one of our Power Sports setups with the full truss, we would run 6 to 10 soundbars linked together as the audio for the booth for outdoor events. And we knew that we needed to be able to give you that output. So in hindsight, the power supply system to do that properly created a little bit of a draw. And in the new one, we were able to redevelop that circuit completely. So there's zero draw. There's really nothing to worry about. The older one, however, if you have poor battery conditioning and poor battery techniques as far as your charging and maintenance, I mean, yeah, sure, you're going to run into a problem. But the other side of that is you'll have that problem with pretty much anything electrical if you're not maintaining things properly. And we made sure that the new bar didn't add to that problem.
Oh. There you go, Conrad. Hope that answers your question. Now, obviously, we talked about OE Fit. We talked about the soundbar and the UTV category, big categories. But I don't want to take away the fact that, again, this is a full line, guys. So I just want to put up, the subwoofers and the enclosures. I know Justin took some time with me and ran through me all the different configurations and possibilities there are with preloaded, subs and everything. I do want to touch on that real quick. Eric, when it comes to the subline, what are some of the key highlights that we want to talk about?
I think, in subwoofers with a name like Powerbass, you kind of have to bring the weight, right? Mm-hmm. We did a 4XL at one time, and it was a really cool sub. It took a lot of power and it was loud, and people dug it. But the other thing is we do a 3XL, a 2XL, an XL, and that kind of tells they get bigger as they go, obviously. But the new 3XL is more like a 4XL, but musical. So the biggest thing that I think people forget about with subs is that we're a car audio brand. We're designed for people to listen to music, right? And that's the biggest seller. Yes, we could build things that go out and get really loud for a few seconds, but your shops don't sell that every day. You guys aren't making a lot of money on that. So we wanted to focus on what your everyday customer would want, but also what could be louder than the next guy down the road. And the 3XL is a great comparison to that. So we do a 3.5-inch coil in that 15, which is not common. A lot of people don't do a 3.5. We do the 2XL in a slim fit, but also a standard basket so that you get more of a sound quality type woofer with a good power handling. We do our XL series, which is a great everyday kind of driver, if you will. And our #1 selling sub is actually the S series, which is more of our, I wouldn't say economy, but I would say it's our priced right series where everybody can get into a pair of subs without spending a whole lot of money and they'll be happy with it. So we've got a pretty broad array of subwoofers. And like you said, our catalog's pretty massive. We could sit here for 2 hours and go over all that if you wanted to, but we don't have that much time, so we'll just focus on the key things.
And you did that brilliantly, showcasing exactly some of the products you want to take a look at if you want to get more involved with Powerbass. Of course, the full amplifier lineup as well, both for power sports and for regular applications. Anything you'd like to speak to that, maybe Justin? I know that you had a few comments about the amplifiers.
Yeah, so I actually have one here with me. This is the XL42SS MX, sorry, the 4255 MX. This is their the 4x250 fully submersible marine power sports amplifier too. And this is the same thing. It's just a solid beast. It's completely sealed. And it comes down to the brand and the brand catalog. And like Eric said, Powerbass being a solutions-based company, there is everything for everything. From price point entry level up to SPL style power. The amount of amps with Powerbass are just absolutely insane, and it just carries through the entire brand portfolio. There's nothing that you can't find with this brand. It's phenomenal, and it really is just awesome.
Yeah, we do 50 watts by 2, but I can also give you 3,500 watts by 1 if you want. And I think that's
a big range.
Yeah, that's the broad scope of our amplifiers. And that MX series literally came from a solution. We had the XL, which was super popular in the off-road world. But then we started noticing that they'd come in just caked with mud. And then you realize, wait a minute, these guys are literally putting these things underwater for fun. And so he said, okay, fine, let's seal it up and give them more power and call it a day. And if you go to our website, powerbassusa.com, there's a video in the garage of us putting this amplifier while playing in water, so you can see that it's totally submergible. So had to plug that in there.
Absolutely, 100%. And speaking about what weather-resistant stuff, full lineup of marine audio too, guys. Like the pods, yes, they have LEDs, the whole lineup there. Eric, we're talking about, and to Justin's point, full audio solution all around. So, this all happens right here. I didn't get a chance to show that before, but, beautiful building located in California. I believe it's Ontario,
California, right by the airport.
There you go. And that's where all the brain power happens.
For the record, he took that picture this morning.
Yep.
That was nice there.
You're making us sound like a last-minute production product over here. I'm trying to make you look good, and you're throwing me under the. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I had to go take the picture, so we did.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to. We're getting closer to the bottom of the hour, but here's the most important part I want to get into now. We're talking about making a brand like this available to Canadian dealers. Again, BB Distribution is your brand. You'll see the information on the bottom of the screen. But let's talk a little bit about benefits of, looking at this brand as part of your lineup. Justin, what are some of the key benefits of looking at potentially taking on Powerbass as a line for a Canadian dealer?
So, everything that we've kind of talked about in this half an hour has kind of led us down to this path where it's all encompassing into what Powerbass is. The fact that they are the manufacturer, the fact that BB Distribution deals directly with Powerbass, has given us the brand confidence, and the fact that they have the brand confidence. We offer on Powerbass, the warranty for Powerbass for our dealers is 3 years on speakers, amps, woofers, everything, and in-field destroy as well. So it is what we consider definitely to be an industry-leading warranty when it comes to something in car audio like this. And we can do that, and they can do that because they have the utmost confidence in their product. Like I said, they control every aspect from design to development to manufacturing. So they know exactly, which IR chipset's going in the amplifier. They know the quality controls, and they know that they can count on the product. So that makes it a huge plus for anyone that does carry Powerbass. It's a no-brainer, and it delivers. It delivers on every aspect of everything.
I want to stay on that point for a second because I have the manufacturer here with me. I'm going to ask him the question. How do you, what kind of balls does it take to put out a 3-year warranty in car audio? I'm just going to straight up, I want to hear what Eric has to say about this.
It's just, big ones, but it's a matter of trusting your product and knowing kind of what its limits are and where things stand. I think If you stand behind something, Tommy Boy made a reference to this, that I could say a guarantee, but that guarantee, I can't finish that sentence. But look it up. It's hilarious. But the reality is you stand behind it because you know it's good. And our return rate, to be honest with you, is around 2%. Here in the US, I've got one guy handling all the returns for everyone pretty much globally that has something coming back. It's not too hard of a job for him to do. And things just work. Now, the funny thing is that out of that 2%, I would say 40% of that is what we call NTF, or no trouble found. And that is stuff that worked when it came back that was deemed, inoperable. So a lot of it is, if we really wanted to break that down, we're probably 1.5%. So of course, you almost don't need big balls. You just need facts. And the facts is the stuff doesn't break.
Keith McCumber thinks you need big balls, though.
Big balls, Keith. Yeah, big balls for sure.
Just so you know. Okay, so I want to drill that home, because for me, correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm making a mistake in this comment, but I have personally never heard of such a ludicrous thing, just so you know. So very, very interesting. Good on you guys. Sorry, I cut you off, Justin. Please continue on some of the unique benefits of Powerbass for dealers here in Canada.
So the other thing is Eric and the guys down in California work very, very, very hard to police, map and protect dealers and pricing down in the United States, which kind of transfers over to doing whatever we can in Canada. I think Eric can kind of tell you a little bit more about the program and how they do that down there.
Yep. Go ahead, Eric.
Yeah, I think that is a test of time of where we've come. As a brand 6 years ago, 7 years ago, we didn't really like the internet. We didn't like what was happening. We didn't like what was going on. It was no this and no that and no Amazon and all these things. And then you realize that the world changed, and you look at 2020 and go, wait a minute, we're doing everything online. I mean, just right now, we're having this discussion online, and that's where the world's changed. But to be a successful brand, you have to have some control. And to have some of that control, it takes a lot of work. I've done this for a long time with previous positions where it wasn't as easy to monitor the internet. I actually was part of the beginning stages of the eBay Vero, where I was just making bad phone calls to people going, hey, get my stuff off your website. We did that for quite some time in a previous life. And then fast forward to today, there's great software that helps us maintain and keep up with this information, because it's literally an all-day job. We use a program called TrackStreet. We spend quite a bit of money a month with that, but it scours the internet every 3 hours. I see what's going on and see what changes. I can see who did it first. I can see who followed suit, and I can also see who fixed pricing. So if you tell me, oh, I'm not doing that, I can give you the screenshot. I can show you the links down to the minute that you made that price change that went under map. It took a couple years, to be honest. It took a little while to get people to kind of follow the rule, if you will. And now our map policy is fairly boring. There isn't a lot of work to do. It starts off with very automated, nice emails that say, hey, fix the pricing. But then it gets to the end result where you get mad enough that you call me and go, hey, why are you sending me this email? And then we have the conversation that says, well, you got to fix your pricing, man. We love doing business with you, but you're $2 under map. Oh, it's only $2. I don't really care. And we have that conversation. I have that conversation when guys go under 10, 15 cents, to be honest, because, on Amazon and things like that, if you're 5 cents under, you win the buy box, which means if I'm an uneducated consumer and I'm just hitting buy now, and I'm not looking through the different stores that offer the product, and I just hit buy now, and I don't know any better because, well, it says buy it, and I hit buy now, I'm going to buy from whoever has the lowest price by even pennies. So we try to maintain the fact that there's no buy box argument here. You're all going to be priced at the same price, and it's up to you to bring your consumer to you based on your service, your expertise, your visual presentation on your site and or your marketplace, and sell yourself rather than selling the price. And that's really changed the way we go to market and enable dealers to do it safely.
I really appreciate you going through that, Eric, because it's certainly a situation that affects everybody. It is what you started that little segment by saying everybody's online, and it's true. This is exactly what is our reality right now. So, but to hear those words coming from you and how much attention that you pay to those issues, or that whole range of challenges, I think that that resonates well. Last comment, Justin. I'm going to leave it to you. You know, round it out. Powerbass Canada dealers.
So obviously, when if anyone's interested in looking at Powerbass or talking about Powerbass, please feel free to reach out to us or any of your local BB distribution representatives. But guys, when it comes down to Powerbass, you need to just remember that this brand delivers 100%. It is not a entry-level brand by any means, and the value and the dollar figure that comes forth with this brand is a direct result of the partnership, the manufacturing, and the way that Powerbass and BB Distribution conduct our business with this brand. It qualifies 100% for us for the BB Distribution Support Network, as well as, you know, like I said, you know, Powerbass is in California. I've talked to Dave, or, you know, we can talk to engineering in a heartbeat. We can reach out to Eric. It's not 327 people waiting 6 weeks for an email back on some schematic. It's you know, it's the local car audio guys that live and breathe car audio.
And if you want to talk to an icon of engineering, Rich Coe's here. You just call over here and say, hey, I want to talk to Rich. I mean, Rich has been in this industry forever. He's like the BASF of car audio. He makes everything better. And you can call him at any time.
Yeah, it's and it also comes down to, you know, I see all these comments popping about brand integrity, and it's just Powerbass really is the full package, right? It's every solution. You know, I mean, there's so much we didn't even talk. You know, here's 3 different Bluetooth controllers, right? Like standalone Bluetooth controllers for, you know, motorcycle, marine, side by side. There's so much that this brand has to offer that it's unfathomable. It really is. You could go through their lines for hours, and, you know, targeting OE, targeting every amplifier application that you can get, you know, everything from that down to wiring, you know, components, coax, marine speakers with, you know, RGB LEDs. That's obviously what sells, but they're in every facet. You know, Eric said, you know, they're extremely integrated into our industry, and they make a hell of a good product.
Eric, I'm going to ask for your comment, and my question to you for this final comment is: what message do you have for Canadian dealers might be watching this, thinking about looking at that complete line? What message do you have for them?
Yeah, I think if I were to sum it up into a couple of messages I would have is that, you know, one, BB Distribution has been an amazing partner with us, and we certainly love working with them. And the reality is we don't see them as BB Distribution. We see them as Powerbass Canada. And that's really the truth, because they lead the forefront of who we are there. And so they're what you see in Canada when it comes to Powerbass. And I think they do an excellent job. They showcase us well. I never have to worry that they're doing an event and, they don't have the right information, because they really do. And I know that Dave has enjoyed coming up and doing the shows and meeting everybody. And I hope to be able to get up there to the next one whenever we can do these things. But I think the biggest thing for me, if you're a dealer and you're watching this now and you're already doing Powerbass and you've made some comments, you know, Conrad, I think I saw you a couple of times there, and I appreciate it 100%. You know, don't be afraid to talk to other dealers that are, you know, maybe not in your same town, but don't be afraid to talk to other dealers and tell them about the things that you've experienced and the positive reactions you've had from using Powerbass. I think one of the things is we get stuck on what we know, or we get stuck on what, you know, somebody that was into car audio 15 years ago, 20 years ago knew, and we forget to try things that maybe are a little bit different or something maybe we haven't heard of. And when I first came to work here, I thought, okay, how do I do this? How do I get behind it? Because I'm not going to work somewhere that I can't be behind the product. And the first thing I did was just start listening to it and just start playing with it. And I was like, man, this is good. And that's what resonates everywhere is a car. Start to use it. Realize how easy the OE solutions are. And before it's over with, you'll focus on the solution pieces that we have, not the everyday thing that everybody else has. Focus on what I have that no one else does. And then you'll realize, well, this stuff's really good. And you'll start to expand. You'll start to see that we're behind you 100% as a dealer. And BB Distribution as Powerbass Canada is behind you 100%. So we're with you every step of the way. We're not just a brand selling a product. We're a partner. And that's how we like to look at things.
Amazing. Eric, I can't thank you enough for being on the show with us today. I already smell a part 2. I know Justin's already thinking like, Ben, we need to get into product the next time, and we definitely will, sir. Definitely. Thank you for being with us early on the West Coast. We bid you a great day, and we'll talk to you soon, Eric.
All right, man.
Yeah, man, I learned a lot. I know everybody watching learned a lot, and I can definitely see your passion for this and why you think this could be a real solution. 100%.
They have so much, and it's awesome, and it sounds great. Like, it just delivers, it's that never falling shy of the smile on the face. You put it in, you notice the difference is coming. The customer's getting what they paid for. You 3-year warranty on that customer. Have a nice day. You're covered.
And confident knowing that warranty there, right? I can't say enough.
Yeah. Man.
Okay. Justin, we're going to see you real soon. Thanks for joining us for this lunch hour learning session. And as you can see, guys, the digits are on the bottom, right? You want Powerbass, contact BB Distribution. Call him. Take care, Justin.
See you guys.
All right, there you have it. That concludes our Powerbass session with CMA Connected. I'm your host, Ben Wu. We'll be back on Friday where we have another very interesting product. First time that they're going to be on with us is Acel Vision, and they do a ton of different solutions with rear screens. And I mean, I'm pretty interested to learn because that is a brand that's been around for a while and is more significant than ever today, especially with all the solutions that they have. So thanks for tuning in. If you like these things, I'm going to just put up some digits right here. Check us out, CanadianMobileAudio.com. If you've got some ideas for some shows or some topics, info@CanadianMobileAudio.com. Otherwise, just message us on Facebook, Instagram, and we'll be sure to get back to you. That's it for today. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm your host, Ben Wu. Until next time, we connect.